What's up, Tailgaters? My name is Tailgate Nate. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my Week 6 preview and predictions video for the games that we are going to see this week in the Big Ten Conference. Yes, I know it is Wednesday, but tomorrow, Thursday, my normal upload day is Thanksgiving, so I'm going to give all you guys Thanksgiving off. It is Thanksgiving here in the United States, which is where I assume all of my viewers are from, but if not, I am taking tomorrow off. Because of Thanksgiving, going to go spend time with friends and family and just generally have a good time watching Thanksgiving football as well, NFL football on. So I appreciate you guys tuning in this video. I talked about it a little bit yesterday, but today is my Week 6 preview and predictions video. And after a big week last week in the Big Ten, this week, kind of slow. It's a very slow week. Not a lot of great games on this week, not a lot of impactful games on this week either. Let's look at how my predictions fared last week. It wasn't a terribly great week, but it wasn't an awful week for me. I went 3-3, which brought my overall record to 21-10. So I'm still above that 2/3 mark, which I think is really good, especially me being above 500. I don't think I expected my predictions to fare out this well. 3-3 was a big week. There are a lot of games that were hard to predict, and I'm pretty happy with the way that the season has gone so far. We only have 3 weeks left in the Big Ten regular season. We can see overall how my predictions fared, but this week I hope to boost my predictions. Just these games this week aren't terribly interesting and should be pretty easy for me in my opinion at least, but I will let you guys be the judge of that. Let's get into the preview and predictions for Week 6. Well, first off, Wisconsin is no longer eligible for the Big Ten championship with the announcement of the college football playoff rankings, and these are the rankings that you are going to see on screen. Wisconsin's up to number 16th, but the 16th ranked team in the nation will not play this week due to positive tests and COVID concerns within the Minnesota locker room. So Wisconsin, this is going to be their 3rd game missed, and per Big Ten rules, you have to play at least 6 games to be eligible for the Big Ten championship. Now, it doesn't look like they were going to get there anyway with the loss to Northwestern, but now they really won't get there due to the fact that Minnesota has positive tests. We hope Minnesota can get back on the field soon for Wisconsin again. It's just another week off in a weird, crazy season. But Paul Bunyan's axe is not going to be awarded this year. It's going to stay in Wisconsin due to the Badgers winning last year. While Nebraska and Iowa are not playing in the last game of the season as per usual, they are still going to be playing on Black Friday as per usual. This game is at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fox. Iowa finds themselves ranked in the playoff committee's top 25, being number 24, and they are the 13.5-point favorite. And for good reason, after dropping their first 2 games of the season, they have come back in dominant fashion against Michigan State, Minnesota, and Penn State to win their last 3. And they are deserving a top 25 spot. As for Nebraska, you turned the ball over a lot in your last game and just generally looked off in your last game. Nebraska's hoping for a bounce back, but this Iowa team looks really tough, one of the better defenses in all the Big Ten. Again, all lines and odds are as of recording this video. I'm giving Iowa the win here on Black Friday. Iowa just is the more talented team, in my opinion. They're a team that's playing better football right now. Nebraska, again, has got to get stuff figured out. I expected them to be better than what they are this year, and just with the way that Nebraska's playing right now, it's going to be a hard game for them to win. Iowa's just playing too good a football. They are the favorite for the reason. They're ranked in the top 25 for a reason. It's just that they're playing some really, really swell overall football right now. I'm giving my predicted win to the Iowa Hawkeyes. Ohio State finds themselves 4th in the college football playoff committee ranking, which is where I expected Ohio State to be. This is the noon game on Fox Sports 1. Again, this is a Saturday game. Ohio State is the 28.5-point favorite against the Illinois Fighting Illini, who after starting 0-3 and were the bottom team in my Big Ten power rankings for 2 weeks, they have now surged and won 2 games in a row, including winning in dominant fashion against the Nebraska Cornhuskers. The over and under you're going to find is 70.5. Ohio State offense still looks like one of the best in the country. Even when Justin Fields has an off day, Ohio State still proves they can light up the scoreboard, which they had to do against a tough Indiana team. But that secondary got torched. And yes, I know the secondary is young with Shaun Wade playing a new position, but there's a lot of talent in that secondary, and getting torched for almost 500 yards is just not the Ohio State secondary that all of us have seen in years past. And then Illinois, with a generally pretty good team, Lovie Smith is looking to pull off another upset for the second straight year. Remember, Illinois knocked off top 10 Wisconsin on a game-winning field goal last year. They're hoping to do it again, but I don't see how they can. Illinois is playing some pretty decent football right now, but this Ohio State team is just too talented. I have a feeling them being number 4, that's going to get them irked maybe a little bit. Yes, you're in the top 4. That's all that matters. But being number 4, it's hard to tell with the way that this year has gone. But I feel like it's going to irk Ohio State, and I think it's going to boost them to a nice win here. I think they're going to want to prove to the playoff committee that they can play better than what they played against Indiana, and I think they're going to show that against Illinois. Buckeyes win this one big. I know I've said this a lot, and I'm beating the nail into the coffin here, whatever the expression is, but who thought Penn State and Michigan would be a combined 2-8 through 5 weeks of the season? I know I didn't, and if you raised your hand, you're wrong. This is the noon game on ABC. Penn State and Michigan. This is an interesting game. Both teams are not playing the best football. Both teams are not playing what we expected, but Michigan finds themselves the 2-point favorite, as I think everyone expected. But this is going to be a close game. Both teams, like I just said, are not playing their best football. Michigan coming off a close win to Rutgers where they had to fight back to win the game. Penn State, on the other hand, just can't seem to get anything going. They can't seem to win a game. They're going to be itching for that first win of the season in this one. And what I feel like Penn State is a pretty winnable game. Michigan, Michigan State, and Rutgers are what Penn State has left in no particular order. But, I mean, it is going to be pretty difficult to beat this Michigan team as well. But it is one of the more winnable games they've had this year. I mean, Penn State has just not seemed to get anything going, while Michigan, on the other hand, slowly, I think, is getting some momentum after the win against Rutgers. It was not their best play, but with Cade McNamara at quarterback, I think it makes a huge difference, and it made a huge difference in that Rutgers game, and I think it's what's going to make a difference in this game. I know I haven't picked a lot of upsets this year, but the teams that have been favored for good reasons. Michigan is that slight 2-point favorite, and I give them the slight edge against Penn State just because I feel like Michigan is going to be able to play better football in this game. I think with Cade McNamara at quarterback, this offense can really flow. And Penn State, they just haven't looked great, haven't been able to find their stride. I don't know that they're going to be able to find their stride against the Michigan Wolverines. I give Michigan the win here. The 3:30 game on ESPN2 features the 8th-ranked Northwestern Wildcats, according to the playoff committee. Yes, they are a top 10 team, and they are playing like it. One of the best defenses, if not the best defense, and in my opinion, the best defense in the Big Ten. Is going to go up against Michigan State Spartans, who had a week off to prepare for Northwestern, but I don't know how much it is going to matter. Of course, Michigan State did not play last week due to positive cases within the Maryland program, the team they were slated to play. Northwestern, like I just said, is the best defense in the Big Ten, in my opinion, looking like one of the better defenses in the entire country. And this is a Michigan State team, especially on offense, that turns the ball over a lot, and their defense, while they're playing pretty decently, Northwestern doesn't have that explosive of an offense to begin with, but they still can put up points with an experienced quarterback like Peyton Ramsey. And again, just the Michigan State offense turns the ball over way too much, and this Northwestern team is playing like one of the best defenses in the country. This one is easy for me. Northwestern's a 13.5 point for a reason. I feel like the line should be higher. Northwestern is going to win this one big. That defense is going to force a lot of turnovers in this game, give that offense short fields, and whether or not they convert them into touchdowns, don't know if it is going to matter. Just that side of the ball is heavily favored against Northwestern. Why? Northwestern is going to improve to 6-0 on the season. Rutgers was very close in the last game, including holding a 17-0 point lead over the Michigan Wolverines, but their defense let them down, and I think their defense could let them down in this game when they play the Purdue Boilermakers, who gets superstar wide receiver Rondale Moore back. Now, I think I'm beating this over the head too much too, but Purdue should not have lost that game against Minnesota, but I'm going to put that behind now. Rondale Moore, I believe, had a career high in receptions in that game against Minnesota in his first game this season, and I look to him to be another big part of this Purdue offense yet again in this game. This game is at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Fox Sports 1, so Big Ten football is going to end a little bit earlier than most of us are used to. This is technically the nightcap, although it's really the afternoon cap. Anyway, Purdue was the 12-point favorite, and rightfully so. Again, David Bell has played well. Rondale Moore was absolutely brilliant last week. Xander Horvath has emerged as a great running back in the Big Ten. And whoever starts at quarterback, whether that be Aiden O'Connell, Jack Plummer, or somebody else, this Purdue team can throw the football and will throw the football. It's the Rutgers defense that lost them the game against Michigan, and it's what I think is going to lose them the game this week. If Rutgers offense puts up a lot of points, I don't know that their defense is going to be able to combat this Purdue offense, who can put up points in a hurry. Yes, they're highlighted by David Bell and Rondale Moore, but you forget about that tight end. You forget about Wright, number 0. You forget about Xander Horvath as well. So this Purdue offense is really, really hard to stop. And I don't know that Rutgers is going to be able to stop them in this game. I give Purdue the win in this one. In the Big Ten game of the week, I hope Maryland is going to be able to get back on the field. It sounds like that is what they are trending towards, getting back on the field. This is the noon game on ESPN2, and in my opinion, it is the Big Ten game of the week, and what otherwise is a pretty slow week in the Big Ten. Indiana finds themselves 12th in the college football playoff rankings and the 11.5-point favorite in this game for good reason. That second half against Ohio State was probably the best half of football that Indiana has played all season. They were able to fight back and make the game close, put Ohio State on its heels, but they could not come out with a win against what otherwise is a great Ohio State team. Now, I know the defense for Ohio State didn't play that well in this game, but Indiana's defense clutched up in that second half, especially in the fourth quarter, not even allowing Ohio State to score. This Indiana team, I still feel like is underrated. I know I spoke about it on Sunday, but I still feel like they are underrated, even though they were so close against Ohio State. They fought back and they did not give up. Michael Penix has been tremendous this season. He leads the Big Ten in pass yards per game and in total touchdowns through the air. And Indiana can run the football as well. We forget, but that -1 yards against Ohio State was against one of the better run defenses in the Big Ten. While Indiana's defense has also played really, really well, and Ty Freifogel, that wide receiver, has emerged as one of the best wide receivers in college football. Probably the best wide receiver in the Big Ten. Whereas when you look at Maryland, yes, it is that offense that drives it, but the defense is not the greatest, not one of the better defenses for the Maryland Terrapins. And I think that's what is going to lose Maryland this game, is that defense. This Indiana offense is just too explosive. It's too good. It's too dynamic. I don't think Maryland's defense is going to be able to handle the level of offense that Indiana is going to bring to the table. I think Maryland's offense can put up points and will put up points. They're just that dynamic behind Tulia Tagovailoa. But Indiana just has the better offense and defense. Indiana going to win the Big Ten game of the week against the Maryland Terrapins. That is going to do it for my Week 6 preview and predictions for the Big Ten Conference. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like. Also consider subscribing if you are brand new to the channel, or you just enjoy my content. Turn on the notification bell so you do not miss an upload. And you can join Tailgate Nation. Also leave a comment down below. You can tell me your thoughts on this video, and feel free to give me your predictions for this week in Big Ten football. Also, share this video with everyone you know who likes Big Ten football or college football in general as much as you and me. I'm trying to grow the channel as big as possible, so please share with friends, family, relatives, anyone, someone on the street. Just please promote the channel for me as well. Remember to play hard, but tailgate harder. Have a happy and safe Thanksgiving, everybody, and I will see you on Sunday with my week review and Ohio State fan reaction. Goodbye.